It'll just take me 10 seconds.
You're fine.
And I got to make sure it mutes or it's going to be double talking or whatever. Almost there. Okay, cool. All right. So, okay, we're back. Oh, and I forgot to ask, what do you think of this background?
I like it.
Okay, I've been
I like it a
trying
lot.
to, yeah, I have a few backgrounds that to choose from. So this one so far is the favorite. Okay, so I went into some quick lanes and you know, it's hard for them to do fluid exchanges. A lot of people, one, they don't want someone who isn't really seasoned to be doing a transmission service or even a coolant service. A lot of the times, those are the ones that tie in. So they don't want to do that. They don't want to do a complete fuel system service because you have to oftentimes disable the fuel pump. You got to know where to put in different vehicles, so it becomes really hard. So I came up with this class that I want to kind of go over with you or whatever, called LOF My Butt, which is lube oil and filter change, my butt. And what I tried to, and fairly successfully, what I've tried to do is get a dealership, or in this case, two separate, quick lanes. Like, no, they don't have a Ford logo, they don't have a Dodge. They are straight up oil change centers to not worry about doing a transmission fluid exchange and focusing on items that they can sell and services that we can do in less than 15 minutes. Okay. So I did that and it was pretty cool. And I get good feedback from it. I talked to Silas Auto Care or something like that in Houston yesterday. They were pretty excited about some of the stuff that we were talking about. So, I mean, it just worked yesterday. So anyway, I'm getting into the mindset of what we can do at these places that don't really know a lot. And when I was looking at your route cards and then speaking to you the other day, I realized again, you know so much about detail, but you don't know a whole lot about mock. So a couple of ways to go with that. You said in your pitch the other day in your meeting that you got to know your product. So one thing that we could do is, man, we could hit you with a bunch of product knowledge information, and I could direct you to SharePoint, and you could start reading all these things and, be the smartest lady in the company about mock. But really, I don't think at all that that's the best way to go about getting more successful more quickly. So I want to run something by you. And the Houston crowd, I'm talking to you as well. Just like I share with all of my trainees, you do not have to do anything I say. I'm not your boss in any capacity, but I do want to give you some food for thought. So instead of trying to be an expert at everything mock, I want to challenge you guys to be an expert at presenting one slice of preventative maintenance. And I urge you to think about this being your slice. I want you to know this much more, just this much more, than the average quick lane service advisor who's normally been in the business less than 2 years. Okay. I want to be able to arm you with some information and like some highlights to get people excited about, and then offer you assistance on any other sort of, how would we launch this? What's the pitch? We can do that. Or in the case of Houston, you have Rick there, you have Keith there. Where I'm not going to ask you to like go in tomorrow and totally pitch what I'm about to share with you to a dealership. It's not what I want to do. What I want to do is go over these items and see if you can just go in and knock on the door and say, man, I just heard something that I think is going to be really big for 2021. Let me go over a couple of highlights. And if they say, yeah, that's what we want to do, then either call me, call Rick, call Keith, call somebody else, and we'll do it as a team. Couple other things before I get started big time in this. Emily, it's just you and one other lady, right?
It's me and Megan, as far as going out and seeing the customers. I do have a delivery guy, but
Okay. Yeah.
Megan and I.
So, and as I know that, Marlon, David, John are all listening as well in Houston. The last thing that I want to do is say, hey, man, I got great news. I got stuff that's going to take 10 hours of your week next week. Man, you ain't got 10 hours. I know you don't. I know you don't by looking at your stuff. I've done route cards for all of you, and I do revenue reports for Houston. You ain't got 10 hours. But what I'm hoping that you can do is during your mix, during the stuff that you do, when you feel you have a customer that's right on the verge of wanting to do something, that if we go in with this simple plan, or what I think is a fairly simple plan, that we can all make some more money. And that is the absolute number one goal. And it's certainly why I got with Emily first on this, is I think there's a ton of opportunity out there to make some money. Okay, so Emily, so far, have I scared you any?
No.
Okay, good. All right, somebody else is coming in. Okay, so haven't scared you. That's good. I want to focus on items that are not, or they're easy enough for me to understand. And if I can understand them, I think anybody can understand them. And I want to attack the youngest, newest advisors that we have on the team, on a service advisor team. And these are the products that I want to talk about and get people hot. So you open up, you go to your manager and you ask them how the numbers are doing on Quick Lane. No matter what they say, just write it down. Awesome. Now, I've talked to a ton of people recently. I've had a bunch of sessions, and I asked this simple question: how's business? So almost everybody is going to remark with one word, and that word is, it's a little slow. So I say, all right. So is car count down? That's the second question I ask them. Is car count down? Now, the reason that I ask that is I already know the answer. If people are saying it's slow, dang near every time they say, yeah, I mean, we're not quite getting the cars that we used to, or people aren't quite spending the money. Those are going to be the two things that are slow, okay? They're going to say they don't have cars, or they're having a little trouble making money. Yesterday was a little different with Silas Auto Care. I asked them and they said their multi-point inspections weren't really working well. So that gave me a totally different angle to like attack them on. But almost everybody says, yeah, it's a little slow, car count's a little down. Now, the beauty of all of the things that we're going to discuss with this Quick Lane, and I'll share my screen with you in a minute, is they're the cheapest items that you can offer to a customer that has our warranty, okay? The reason that's important is the duration of the warranty is small. So like our oil kit warranties, all of the oil change warranties are 10,000 miles. So what I share with people when they say it's slow is I say, hey man, I got something for you in a minute. You know, a retention tool to get people to start coming back to the dealership. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, anytime you do an oil change, you can offer this oil change special. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I say, and then I always pull back the takeaway close. Well, no, let's don't get ahead of ourselves. You know, let me just share with you what I've seen. So watch, I'm gonna share my screen. Oops, I say I'm gonna share my screen. I gotta open something up. Technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. This is a class that I give to service advisors, okay? LOF my butt. What we gotta do is you need to challenge people to get out of the mindset of oil changes and into the mindset that we do 5,000 mile services, that we do 10,000 mile services. And with your independence, it's even a better challenge because you can come to them and say, just like I did yesterday, I have dealerships, and this is no BS, I'm not lying. I have dealerships that beg people to come back for repairs. But at these independent shops, like Silas Auto Care, they're saying, man, people come to us with repairs all the time. We need people coming back for oil changes. So I'm like, dude, let's get you ahead of even the dealerships. Let's get you going on to get some of these services back to yours. So let's get out of the mindset that we do oil changes and start getting into the mindset that we do 5,000 mile services, that we do 10,000 mile services. And then I show them Engine Advantage plan. So we got a plan. It's totally customizable. The reason that it's customizable, as you can see in package 1, and I'll make this a little bigger so it's easier to see. We can just do an oil additive at a place. This is a good menu item. If you start talking to people, hey man, how are your menus? Do you present anything before a multi-point inspection? If they say yes, say, hey, I can share something with you. You don't have to do this all right then. You can go and get your ducks in a row. I can help you if you want help to present them with something, but here's a package. For under $15 cost to the dealership or to the facility, they can either get our 1211 premium engine treatment or our advanced engine treatment. They're both just oil additives. So when somebody does an oil change, you dump this in, there's no flag time with this, and the customer gets a $4,000 warranty or up to a $4,000 warranty. You can bump that to $6,000 by doing a 2-part kit. One's a cleaner, one's an additive, and you can boost it even farther by adding a fuel additive. They would each get $6,000 of coverage. It's a ton of coverage. You can give them prices on that, but let me take off stop share real quick. You don't really have to discuss any of this on the drive. Just get or with them. So you're in your route. You do all your stuff in detail. You walk back up to the front, or in H-Town, you do all your business. You walk the shop, you do your stuff. Not asking you to go talk to service advisors. Just go talk to the manager. Hey, how's business? It's a little slow. Really, how's car count? Oh, well, I mean, honestly, it's a little slow. Man, I got something for you. We have that retention tool. We can, do oil change packages. Doesn't really, the investment's not a lot, and it'll get people coming back to your dealership. Oh, really? What do you mean? Right there, they're hooked just enough. Then again, you can go home, get your ducks in a row, or in Houston, you can get Keith or Rick, Emily, and I'm here to help, but I'm not bossy with helping. You can obviously do this by yourself, but then you go back with the presentation and then you challenge them. If they say no, well, what items are y'all selling on the drive? What items are you selling on the drive? They're going to talk, oh man, we do a lot. And they're going to be defensive right out the gate. We do a lot. We sell alignments, and we can sell tires on the drive. And then they're going to start waning. I'm telling you, they will. And you say, what else you got? What else do y'all sell on the drive? Say you don't like additive packages. Not everybody does. So watch this. So ask them, y'all sell wipers? Now, Emily, I'm talking dead at you. Do you sell people wipers?
I do not.
Yeah, and we have wipers to sell, right?
Yes.
So what's your pitch on wipers? Whatever that is, just be thinking about it. And if you ain't got one, get with me. I'll write up one. I'll get with Keith, because Keith sells the most of these. See, we need to challenge the dealership or the facility to sell more, but then that gives us that opportunity. So you ask them, y'all sell wipers on the drive? They say, yeah. And then you ask them, do y'all sell Aquapel? Do you do windshield treatments? Well, no, what are you talking about? Well, we have a solution that's kind of like Rain-X. You can put on the windshield wipers. You barely have to use them. Here, why don't I bring in a demo? So I'm going to come back to stop share. If y'all watch the video, the H-Town, if y'all watch the video with Emily, she talked about not necessarily leaving samples, but doing demos, getting wax and waxing on, getting a carpet cleaner and making stains disappear. Well, this is what we need to do with Aquapel. And the reason, and I'm not trying to sell a bunch of Aquapel. What I want to do is infiltrate that service drive with everything we have. Because see, if we start talking about Aquapel, especially Marlon, man, you need to be coming back with wipers. Heck, man, I can sell you Aquapel, but what kind of deal do you get on wipers? Because all we want to do, again, is infiltrate that service drive and sell them so many things that they can, again, sell their customers on the service drive. So you ask people, Y'all sell wipers on the drive? Hopefully they say yes. Well, I guess hopefully, even if they say no, if they ever say no, then say, you need to get my trainer Mitch to show you how to sell wipers on the drive. But almost everybody, they're not going to admit that. So they're going to say they sell wipers. We need to come back with Aquapel. Rick has videos. We've shared with them on Slack of the usage of Aquapel and what it looked like in his truck. So we got a bunch of stuff on Aquapel that we can come back and send people. But remember, Aquapel is just the little shrimp that we're putting out on our fishing line. I don't want to just go sell Aquapel at places. That's silly. What I want to do is hook them with Aquapel and then start selling everything else. Like windshield washer solvent, do they fill it up right there on the drive? That's something that you could immediately go into. There's a lot of different things. They get wipers, big deal. Used car centers. We could go to used car centers that recon their own department and give the exact same speech that we're given. So Emily, you can sell detail products to a used car lot to wash their cars. Well, why aren't we offering them Aquapel? Why aren't we offering them windshield wipers? All of this stuff takes no capital outlay, doesn't take machines, doesn't take anything. Let me go back to my screen. So say, all right. Oh, and the way I like to show Aquapel, and I have pictures of this too, I like to treat half of a glass door with it and then half of a glass door without it, and then just spray each and show people the side that's treated beads up and goes down. The untreated side stays real cloudy. Next, I talked to them about tire maintenance. How are y'all selling balances? And they're going to say, what do you mean? Well, how do you pitch a balance? The way I pitch a balance is when anybody says I'm here for an oil change and rotate, I say and balance. That's a good way to just always try to bump people on tires. Now watch this. You go into, so I'm going to rewind. Emily, you've been back. You've been working detail all morning. You're sweaty. You come in, you're talking to people and you say, hey, boss man, how are you guys doing on balances? You should ask that question. You should ask that question when you don't sell wheel weights. So if you got a spot where you don't sell wheel weights, you come in and you say, hey, boss man, how y'all doing on balances? You know, I'm getting beat up by my trainer and he's always asking me questions. So I just thought I'd come out and ask, how y'all doing on balances? Well, what do you mean? Well, we got a cool pitch. You know, when anybody says rotate, you say and balance. It's a cool way to pitch. 5% of the people will close. And they're going to say, really, thanks, you know, we'll see what we can do. And that's when you come back with say, who are you getting your wheel weights from? You see, we've given them a way to use those wheel weights a little more, and then we come back and pitch wheel weights. Now, again, if you pre-plan this, you can drop that price list right on his desk or her desk, but you don't have to. Again, and I'm talking to the people in Houston. Now I'm talking a little bit to the people in Dallas. Look, man, you don't have to be armed with every bit of information. Go back to your office, get with your regional manager, create a little plan. Maybe, hey, if you buy this, you get this many off. There's a lot of different ways to pitch it, but you can enter that balancing, that wheel weight realm by asking people, how do you sell a balance? And those are things that we can pre-sell. Those are things that we can sell on the service drive. Let me go back to my share screen. Next, AC services. Man, if you ain't pitching AC services, and Emily, I know you ain't. If you're not pitching AC services, we gotta learn some. Okay. So, a couple of my faves. I love Arctic Blast. Arctic Blast, if you don't know, can be the service can be done in less than a minute. It only has to be done one time. And again, we're not going to go into the product knowledge of all this stuff, but Arctic Blast, I love it. The other reason that I love it, there's not a giant market for it. Like there's not a bunch of competition for it. So I like that. Two, it can be done by nearly anybody. It's really just one little fitting and then you got to squeeze a syringe. So it's idiot proof. Even I could do it, except I've got little baby hands. So it's kind of hard for me to push the plunger in, but anybody can do it. But what we want to come back with, if they don't like that, is we have a full array of AC products. And Emily, I can't stress this enough. I looked at your lineup that you have with detail. You pitch a lineup of stuff. You should immediately incorporate AC products in that lineup And one of the bridges is air fresheners. Because air freshener, you can put a little wafer in on the cabin air filter, and as the vehicle runs, it gets a little odor. So I roll cabin air filter stuff into AC services. So we have Arctic Blast, we have aerosols, we have odor be gone. Just we need to look at the ones that we have stuff in canisters where you leave the vehicle running. There's a lot of different options, but all of these can be sold dead on the service drive. They don't have to do it after a multi-point inspection. A customer comes in for oil change, tire rotation, and you say, hey, it's March. We've gone through the winter. We need to, rejuvenate your AC. We need to freshen up your AC system. It's an annual service. We have evaporator core cleaning services. We even have AC quiet stuff, and that would transition you from the service drive into the main shop. So what we want to do is try to get again, we want to infiltrate the service drive, not sell things in the shop. That's not what this is about. Everything is essentially, if they had all of the parts out on the service drive, that they could just grab them and do them without the help of a technician. Now, they're not going to do it that way, but that's the mindset. I want to empower a quick lane. You see what I mean? And AC services, we don't have any AC service that takes more than 10 minutes to do. All of these can be done. And y'all all in the South, even you, Emily, in Tulsa, it's still the South. It gets hot as a mofo.
I live in Eufaula. That's further south than Tulsa.
Sweet. All right.
I'm almost to Texas.
It gets plenty hot. So AC services ought to be a big deal. Get your pitch. I love Arctic Blast. And then I want to come back with air fresheners, and I want to end with AC evaporator core, because that's almost a main shop service. It doesn't have to be. It can easily be done in quick lane, but that's the last one that I want to go over with them. Next, fuel. Okay, let's go to, well, no, we'll do quick fuel services. Now, cat tools are expensive. We have IV tools that you can mess with and put too much chemical in a car and bad things can happen. So I don't like pitching those on my quick lanes. What I like pitching on my quick lanes is a bottle of Enhance. That's our newest tank additive. It's formulated for direct inject vehicles. And it comes with our warranty. So what I like to tell customers, look, man, we have a fuel product, goes directly into the gas tank. It cleans as well as any tank additive. And I'm not going to say that it cleans as well as any fuel service, but it cleans as well as any tank additive. And it comes with our 15,000 mile warranty. You could offer that every 15,000 miles to your customer for $79.95, and they would always have a warranty on their fuel pump and fuel injectors. And again, that fuel service, and this goes for, especially for Marlon, who's listening in, fuel services are a good bridge from additives to services. And Emily, same thing for you. That's way down the road when we'll get into the main shop, but that once you get someone using tank additives, that's going to be an easier segue to in the main shop. So watch, I want to rewind again. You are kicking butt back in the back. You got folks back in the back that love you. They've contacted or made you get with people in the front, like general managers, choosing all these products. What you need is the middle. So what we want to do is show things that can be done in the back, like Arctic Blast during recon. We get things that can be preloaded, like Arctic Blast can be preloaded in vehicles with the general manager. And we get those things in the middle and tie all of that together. And that fuel tank additive is another one. Once you start talking about things that you can attach any sort of labor to, that's when you come back with used car kits. Well, look, we have one kit that has 5 different elements to it that all come with our warranty. This is a product that we've been really successful with in Arkansas. Nick would sit in his truck and I would go over the pitch with him before he went in. And there were a couple of times where I said, look, if you get stuck, just speakerphone me in and I'll talk about it. Used car kits are a really good element to speak to the gap between sales and service. A lot of times they're like sales hate service, service hates sales, and it's madness. Well, that's another way, especially if you have a really good relationship with recon, which is normally a part of service, and general managers who are a really good part of sales. You can say, look, why don't we all meet in the middle and do this service so everybody makes a little money. Used car kits, again, it's going to be market driven, but in the country, I've seen that we can sell that kit for $75. Metro, it's still going to be between, 55 and 65 is probably as much as you're going to be able to sell that for. But once you get out in the country, we need to make some gross. Reason that we need to do that. And I learned this from Keith a long time ago. We had a dealership, a little dealer group that was about an hour and a half away. And when he was going over all the paperwork and stuff with me, just showing me what we did, I noticed that all of the kits were about $7 higher. And I was like, dang, dude, you're gouging them. And he's like, well, I got to pay for my gas. I got to pay for my time, So out in the country, it kind of stinks for people who live out in the country, but things are just a little more expensive. Delivery's a little more expensive. So don't be afraid to ask for that money. But used car kits, and again, that's not what I want you to go pitch tomorrow. I want you to go pitch tomorrow any infiltration item, the smallest, the Aquapel, an oil additive, the idea of an oil change kit or sticker, which is another thing that we'll get into in a second. Let me go back to sharing my screen. All right. Now, sanitizing stuff. If you can sell it, only if you can sell it. We have Ecolab. Ecolab is really inexpensive. If people are still buying it, which is a big if, it's probably 40% are, 60% aren't. But if they are, we ought to be pitching and selling Ecolab. I would just sell it by the packet. That's the easiest way to sell it. The instructions are dead on it. If you get anybody doing sanitizing, that should directly, you should start pitching janitorial, because you ought to get them to spray the interior of the building. Once they're spraying the interior of the building, that's your segue to go to any janitorial. Cool? Now, once they start pitching stuff, or once they start agree, and I'll take it off screen share. Once they agree to try, that's when I urge you to either get with me at the beginning or get with your regional. But we need to create an interval chart. And the message is consistency. We want to make sure that Cheryl on the service drive is offering the same things the same way at the same time as Hank. So start talking about consistency. We want to make sure that at every oil change, this is offered. At every 15,000 miles, this is offered. Okay. And start pitching that interval chart. And when you do, again, it's going to be a segue to these things. Well, when are you offering a rotate? When are you offering a cabin air filter replacement? And always be ready for the piggyback sale. And a piggyback sale is when a service department sells a particular part or service, and we piggyback, we add our service to it. So I always share with people, like when you do an oil change, Mr. Customer, what are you always pitching? Tire rotation. Yeah, that's a piggyback sale. And remember, I got that and balance. We ought to pitch people, that balance and balance. And remember, man, I can be your wheel weight guy. How about your wipers? What are we piggybacking with? Aquapel, awesome. When we do a cabin air filter, what are we piggybacking it with? Either an air freshener or a AC service. When we get somebody who wants to do a service, are we adding that fuel tank additive as a service? Are we adding that? Are we trying to pre-sell items like Arctic Blast? Are we setting up that multi-point inspection using interval charts? Asking all those things to people is how we do it. Now, Emily, have you pitched oil change stickers?
No.
Yeah. See, do you
I've
know?
been asked for them.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a machine that prints out oil change stickers. We also have the ability to add with those stickers a roadside policy or a road hazard policy or both a roadside and road hazard policy for the interval of that oil change. There's a
Hey,
bunch of
Mitch,
different. Oh man, you scared me, John. Holy smack.
I
What you
don't
got?
I don't think we do the oil change stickers anymore with that program.
I'll check because I printed them out in November for someone. So I think we
What's is
might,
it
but
Robert Halsey? Is that his name?
I don't think it's through the nitrogen program anymore. So I don't think he does that, but I'll check on it. I'll check on it. That's good.
Well, find out who if it's. I was always under the impression that we didn't have those anymore. But if we're getting them somewhere else, give me the information, please.
Cool. Will do. Okay. So everything that can be sold on the drive is what we want to try to do. The reason again that we want to do this, and like this should be a part of like what you know when you're going in and pitching this stuff. The vast majority of vehicles go through the quick lane. They don't go through the main shop. A quick lane service advisor, I mean, at big stores, can write up to 25 or 30 tickets a day. A main shop advisor is never going to write up 30 tickets in a day. So the vast majority of cars cycle through and they're making per ticket, like the amount that a customer pays is going to be between $60 and $120. It's just that is what it is. So all of these cars going through at $70 a ticket, what we want to make sure is that your customer knows that if they go with what you say, that number is going to go from $70 to $85. It's going to go from $85 to $105. You see what I mean? What we want to do, Mr. Customer, is just get you up $20 or $30 a lick. Something Keith said yesterday that you really need to make sure you embrace. Anything that we put on your shelf, if it doesn't sell, we'll just take it off. It doesn't matter if you bust open the box and use one, we'll credit back 23 of them. Okay. So the plan, the pitch is to let's make a difference on all of the cars that you see every day. Eventually, if you like what I'm saying, yeah, man, I got brake fluid, I got transmission fluid, I got gear oil. Don't do that at first. And I'm not talking down to you. It's a progression. Like you shouldn't talk about any of that right now. Get into your wheelhouse of being able to transition from what you do really well with detail. And the thing that I would do if I were you, I would learn some AC and really bone up before the spring and transition from detail to AC to deodorizers and Aquapel. Once they agree, yeah, man, I like Aquapel. That's the easiest piggyback sale. And then we can just start hammering them. Again, the opening, how's business? Business is slow, cool. We have some items that can help people get back in. I mean, what do y'all sell on the drive? What do you mean? Well, we have an oil additive that if you use it every time, you keep this warranty. It's a good way to get customers to come back in. It's real easy. You just put it in. There's no machines necessary. Anybody can do it. It's just the speech. We want to make sure that this doesn't go to main shop and bog down main shop. We can do everything right here on the drive. What questions do you have so far?
On the fuel, what do you think
Yes.
about 1271 versus
Yeah,
the enhanced?
Yeah, I like 1271, man. 1271 is good. It's a little smaller bottle. It's an older presentation because it's just an old little red bottle that we've been pitching everywhere for everywhere. I like Enhanced better because it's a newer looking bottle. Now, beyond just like the kindergarten-ish in that statement of I like it because it looks better, it is formulated for direct inject vehicles. That is, like it states that on the bottle, it is one of the 3 parts of our largest direct inject kit. And it's the newest technology that we have. So I'd rather pitch that, and just between me, you, and the fence post, It's more expensive because there's more ounces. Now it is cheaper per ounce. So, that's why I don't like saying it's more expensive. It just the cost of it is more because you're getting more in the bottle. But yeah, I like 1271. And again, if you had to throttle back, and I think Enhance the price for Enhance is like $15 on the mom's unit. I would sell Enhance for $19.95. That's what I would make a little gross on it. And that's including Metro. I would pitch that at $19.95. What do you think about the Engine Advantage plan? You get one part for an oil additive, you get an oil cleaner and an oil additive which boost it, and then you can do one with oil additive cleaner and a fuel tank additive to even get a higher warranty. What's your feel on that? Do you think that would have any legs at any of your accounts?
Yeah, I like it. Would you print it? Would you print it off and go to the service advisor first with that? Would you go to the service manager first and just say,
no.
Hey, what?
So I would go to my best friend. Here's what I mean. If you're really close with a service advisor who kicks butt, who really is the person that drives sales, because sometimes you have that. Like sometimes there's somebody named Mike, and Mike is just a beast. So you got to talk Mike into everything before you go to the service manager, and then you can say, "Man, I just talked to Mike. Mike's pumped up about it." You could do it that way, or if you have the relationship with your a service manager, you could go to them. But Emily, you have a leg up on everybody here. See, you have a leg up because you know a lot of GMs. See, we don't know a lot of GMs, and I'm being serious. It's never a bad idea to go to the general manager and say, "Hey, man, I was, had a really good day in detail, and I just wanted to come by and say, hey, I hadn't saw you in a while. I was thinking about going to Paul and pitching him some items that, we're focusing on for 2020. I just kind of wanted to, ask you first if that was fine, if it's a good time, is anything bad happening? Just anything like empathetic with the customer or and I bet you a third of the time that general manager will say, well, I'll just walk back there with you. Let's just go. We'll do it right now. And again, that's when, you pitch something with that warranty, the general manager's gonna, and maybe out of those 3 out of 10, 1 out of 10 is gonna say, what is the warranty? What are you talking about? And again, that's when you say, well, we have one for used cars too. What's your, like, beyond what you guys offer, what's your used car warranty? And it doesn't matter what they say, man, I can get you some information. Now, this is when you're new at it. And you say, let me get you the information. And that's when you call, me, you call Rick, you call Keith, you call Nick, and see if we can reel them in. So it would just depend on who's your relationship with.
Okay. The Arctic Blast, the AC services,
Yes.
Is there warranties that come with that?
Okay.
Like the value of besides cooler air.
Yes, officially, no. Now there is a warranty with Arctic Blast when you use it in our used car kit.
Okay.
You get a 4-month, 4,000-mile warranty. There's not anything beyond that, but yes, there is that. In the event that somebody presses you on it, let's just get together and talk about it, because we can customize our stuff, but we want to do that way last. So yes, there's warranty coverage that would open you up to used car conversation. When just used by itself, there isn't.
So the talk on the AC would just be, hey, let's get your AC prepared for the summer, cooler.
The word that I like to use is AC maximized. I created a little window hanger for cars, and this is for a used car department, but you could do this in a display that showed 2 ice cubes, and it said, get your AC maximized, ask your service advisor for details.
Uh-huh.
So we did that as a little point of sale for Arctic Blast. We also have flyers. Nick, I think, was it Arctic Blast? He might have done it for AC evap too. But if you look on Arkansas Slack, we have some point of sale material about Arctic Blast, like a little ad sheet. But yeah, it's way to make your AC blow colder.
Hey, Mitch, can you hear me good?
Yes, yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
I lost y'all for a little bit. And Emily, I'm just asking why push Arctic Blast over AC evaporator? Or were you just asking about it?
I was just asking about it. I need to know also.
Yeah.
So
I would promote AC evaporator.
yeah, both
Okay.
are really good. You got to know your audience. Okay. AC evap is a service that takes virtually no tools and can be done by quick lane people. It's a very good service as well. Arctic Blast is 60 seconds, so it's a really good one too. I like talking about Arctic Blast because you can lead into used car kits. Talking about AC evap leads you to shop sales. They're both really good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like each of those are smart. It leads you to maybe a slightly different path. So, what else? What other questions you got?
Maybe wipers. Do we have a catalog for wipers? Like what I could probably sell some wipers right now to Chris Nickel, Jeep Chrysler Dodge.
So, Keith, what's the best way to get our information about wipers that we have?
I think we use Prime Vision, and that is through. Oh, who does Tammy have in Beaumont? Who's she buying them from? I remember seeing the catalog. I can't think of who it is. I know it's a supplier that Mike has that's got an online catalog. And wiper blades, Emily, are really, really simple. I know it because I deal with another company on wiper blades that I can't promote to you. But ours, knowing what I know now, there's 10 sizes. It goes from a 14 to there's a little more, but it goes from a size 14 to a 28. And basically you got two styles. You got the cheap metal ones that they use cars, and then you got what they call the aero blades. And as long as you're price competitive, you can sell them. They come 10 to a box. There's not much to it. It's really, really easy.
I think I've got Chris Nickel. Well, Chris Nickel's using the Bosch brand, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, hey, yeah, I think I pay, I don't know, $5, $6, maybe even $8 for, I don't remember.
It varies. The smaller ones are cheaper. And when you get up to the 24, 26, 28 inch, which are the most common on all the new vehicles, that's where you want to be competitive at. I wouldn't worry about the 10 to 18 inch range because they may sell one a month. So if you got to get down and dirty to play with them on pricing, it is what it is. But on the 26, 28, you need to make sure you're making money because that's going to be 90% of your volume.
Okay.
Cool.
And Mike Norris
Mike
has that info who we're buying from.
Okay.
So does Tammy. I'll find out.
Okay.
And again, once they say yes on that, I would say 2 weeks later, hit them with Aquapel, and then let's just, again, try to infiltrate the drive. But I mean, wipers is a really good lick. That'd be good. It'll certainly lead you to other recon opportunities that could be there as well. Houston, I know that you guys have been quiet. I haven't called on you. If you want to unmute yourself, do y'all have any questions about any of the stuff that we've covered so far? How's it going, man? Any questions, concerns from you guys?
I'm really concerned. It's just going to be interesting. I think what's going to be real good. I think the 1211 is going to be something that I might promote. It seems pretty simple as far as the presentation on how to present it, since most of my guys do mainly oil changes. When it comes to the AC stuff, I like what you're saying about not trying to give them the whole plate all at one time. Just give them just a piece and just get one product at a time to lead to something else. That's something that I'm slowly learning right now. Even dealing with the CB stores has been pretty interesting to see how they. I think CB gives us a great example how they do the 1211. I guess my biggest thing is going to be trying to figure out exactly how I can present it to them to present it to their customers, how that verbiage is going to be. How do I help them sell the 1211 implemented? Because a lot of them have menu boards, and I mean, it might be a simple fix, but they have menu boards that have set pricing. How does the customer implement that price and offer the warranty?
Yeah. So a couple of things. First, if someone does have a menu already built, this is a really easy addition to that. Would not have to bump their price very much. And if they're offering some sort of oil change package for
Yes.
$89 by adding this, it'd be, $102. If somebody's already on a menu, it's really easy to put in menu kits into a menu. How to pitch it to a customer that doesn't have a menu program. So you got
Yes.
Al's Automotive in the Heights. They do a bunch of oil change for a bunch of rich people, and that's that. The first thing that I ask the service manager, and because I know the answer, I don't ask any questions that I don't already know the answer. So, Mr. Service Manager, do y'all get to know your customers? Is there a relationship building, or do y'all just cycle through customers? What are they going to say in the Heights? They're going to say, yeah, we know our customers. Yeah, we know our customers. Who's going to say, no, we don't know our customers at all. They're going to say, yeah, we know our customers. Where as you get to know your customers, or do you talk to them about how long they're going to keep the car? And they're going to say, well, of course. Well, if you're going to keep your car past manufacturer's warranty, what I suggest is we give them a plan that by doing service work here at Al's in the Heights, we can extend a portion of that plan forever. And the customer's going to be like, what you talking about, Willis? Well, you don't have to go to Ford to get a warranty on your engine. We'll warranty it right here at Al's Automotive in the Heights. By doing an oil change here, our Al's special oil change, it comes with a 10,000-mile warranty of up to $4,000 of coverage on any internal lubricated part of your engine. And then you give them that brochure. It's that easy. Hey, are you going to keep your vehicle past powertrain warranty? Yes. Well, then we recommend here at Al's that by doing service work at Al's, you get this coverage. That's how you transition somebody without a menu. So you ask Al. So you go up to Al. I'm sure you get to talk to Al's too. I mean, I'd forgotten that you know the owners of your place, which is just a leg up and a half, man. And you can just ask them, how are y'all doing with customer retention? It doesn't matter if they say we're doing crappy. Good, I got a retention plan for you. We do well. Good, then let's reward your customers. Well, what do you mean? By doing service work here at Al's, you get a warranty that's good anywhere in the world. What? Yeah, I know nobody wants to go back to the Ford store to get an oil change. That's why doing it here in the Heights, you get a warranty anywhere anywhere in the world. You see what I mean? So that's how I would transition that 1211. If you do service work at Al's, you get a warranty anywhere in the world.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, real quick, John, nice mask. David, I can't believe you can't fit in the screen.
That's good.
Hey, I got to go to another meeting. I'll have a good day.
All right.
Good.
So, H-Town, any more questions, comments, concerns? Just the way to go about pitching stuff like this. For John and David, both of you sell a ton of mock services. Definitely don't want you to stop doing that to, just sell stuff in the quick lane. But what I would share with you is, I talk mostly to dealerships, and, it was tough with COVID. Times are hard for a lot of people. Hopefully your customers weren't affected as much, but most of them are going to say that they're down. Almost no one's going to say, man, we crushed it. So instead of pitching them shit that can make them a ton of money at one time, let's try to catch some little fish with a big net instead of a big fish with a single pole, and start talking to them about, let's get more people coming back to see you. Here's a story about that. Customer retention is so important. During COVID, I was challenged to come up with a way to make people go back to servicing their vehicle. Because y'all remember there was that shelter in place time where a lot of people weren't getting out. And I said, you want me to do what? Get people to come back to the dealership? Like, I ain't no magician, dog. And then I thought of something. I gave it to this group, and the group ended up being up 15%. I got their year-over-year numbers yesterday. What we did was decide to give away free oil changes to every law enforcement and medical worker in Colorado Springs. Everybody got a free oil change. So the guy said, how in the world is this going to make us more money by giving away oil changes? And I said, because when they come here, if you guys just do what I've taught you how to do, you're going to do a good multi-point inspection and you're going to make a lot more money. And I told him, I'll put my reputation on it. This plan will work. And in 2 weeks, they were booked out 8 weeks in advance. And it crushed. So don't be afraid to share stories of success with your people and say, and it's true, if they do what I ask them to do, they will be successful. That's it. So go out there and pitch that program as a retention tool. And I'm going to say it for the 4th time. How is business? You know they're going to say it's slow. Well, I got something for you. What are you talking about? Well, man, what are we doing to make sure people come back after an oil change? What do you mean? Why don't we do our oil additive program, our engine advantage plan? It's got 3 tiers. My favorite tier is the 1st tier. All you need to do is add oil to new oil additive to new oil change. You get a $4,000 warranty. And it gets people talking about what makes service work here at Owls in the Heights special. What are you talking about? Well, that warranty brochure that we have, we'll just take that mock logo right off of it and we'll put Owls logo right on it. I don't want it to be a mock warranty. I want this to be an Owls warranty. I want this to be a Ted and Tulsa's warranty. Mike doesn't have to be the hero behind the warranty. We just want to be the checkbook. This is a way for you to advertise for free. Y'all see it? Chris Collins or whoever the hell you said can buy wiper blades. Y'all want a free, Chris Nickel, y'all want some free advertising? Ask him. What is he going to say? What's he going to say?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Let me show you. Whip out a mock warranty brochure. Get a magic marker and just scratch through the mock logo and write, Chris Nichols and hand it to him and say, why aren't y'all handing these to every customer? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, are y'all using like warranty? So Cuellar, I'll go to you. You think if you go to Russell and Smith, and they probably already got it, but if you think you went to Russell and Smith and said, do y'all want some free advertising? What would they say?
Come on, bring it.
Bring it. Well, how about y'all put y'all's logo on the mock brochure and hand them out to everybody that has 100,000 miles or less on their vehicle? What do you think they're going to say? We'll print the things for free. What are they going to say? Yeah. So then what do you say? You say, look, man, we got this product with warranty. We got that product with warranty, and it segues right to it. So that's it. Well, cool, man. I've taken my little 45 minutes of time. Emily, any questions?
I think so far, so good. It gave me lots of avenues to start with.
And take one.
Take one.
Just one thing. You like the wipers, get with Mike or get with Tammy, get information about the wipers. And
I think each individual person I have in mind is different. I got wipers over at Chris Nickel. I got fuel over here at Ferguson that I need to I need to concentrate on, and then ACs here in the next few weeks.
Yep. If you get stuck, just let me know. But yeah, I would just go with that one good idea. And at the dealerships, I would talk about the free advertising, and I would hit them with that fuel service for the quick lane. A bottle of Enhance, it comes with a 15,000 mile warranty. It is a tank additive. It's the best one that we have, and they can use it as a service. I would suggest retail selling it for $79. The cost to you, Mr. Customer, is $19.95.
I got another question.
Yep.
Ferguson group is very interested. They loved when you came and did training. I keep pushing. The Zoom training. How do you get that done during the day with them being busy with customers, and like how can I get them scheduled?
I just sit here and one dude comes in and they get in front of the camera like you are, and then they'll get up and another dude comes. It would just be like if I was sitting in the waiting area, but I'm not.
Okay.
We can set up a time, to begin, and we'll just go until we're finished. Also, if you YouTube me and John, you can do this as well. Tad did this yesterday. I have a lot of classes now. I've recorded about 15 sessions in the past 2 weeks. Some of them are as quick as 5 minutes, and it's labeled, how do you sell a brake fluid exchange? Go into somewhere who's a little hesitant about the training and say, look, and just get it on your phone and just hit the button and just listen. But I'm on YouTube. If you just YouTube, go to youtube.com and type in my name, my stuff comes up.
Okay.
If somebody's weird about it, that's how I would do it. Cool.
There's a few that have asked, but I just making it happen is like getting them to log in and do it. So
yeah. Well, cool. What else? Anything else, John? Mr. Lux, got anything?
No, sir. I'm impressed.
Awesome, man. Well, Emily, if you need anything, just reach out. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, reach out. I'm here to help. And especially if you're going to go in and pitch something, I don't mind practicing with you before you go in and just, get you on point. And also, and this is for John and his crew there. Same thing with you guys, man. If you start getting somebody hot and you feel like you just can't quite close them down, Marlon, you too, man, just call me and speaker me in. I'm not BSing. I really do. I can push the ball forward. I'm not saying I can just make it to where they're going to buy $2,000 worth of stuff for you in a day, but a nickel bet says I can land something at every store. And the process, like if you're trying, especially you, Marlon, if we're trying to like get someone on a maintenance program, hey, you guys do a really good job with oil changes. How about we just do some little things that might generate a little bit of revenue a bunch of times and add up to make a lot of money? Well, get me on the phone and I'll get them hot. Because what I'm going to come back with is excitement. And I'm going to say, how do y'all pitch stuff? And they're going to say, what do you mean? What we do, and they're going to say something stupid. And I'm going to say, well, do you ask them, do you know what a brake fluid exchange does? Like, do you know what a brake fluid exchange does? And that manager is going to say, yeah. And then I'm going to say, great, then you know how important it is. It's $139. We can have it done by 2:00. All I need is your authorization. And he's going to say, what are you doing? What's wrong? And I'm asking, do y'all sell Aquapel? Do you know what Aquapel is? And he's going to say no. Well, what we want to do when we change your wipers is apply this solution that goes on your windshield. It's like wax for your windshield. You won't even have to use them wipers, man. That'll make those wipers $47. We can have it done in 10 minutes. All I need is your authorization. And then I'm going to start yelling at him. And I'm going to say, see, we can sell anything to people. We just got to offer it. Are you offering stuff, or are you becoming an order taker? Do you listen to the customers, or do the customers listen to you? See, because I looked on Yelp and I was ready for Silas. They just didn't do it. I look up on Yelp these things when I go to these people and I say, well, on Yelp, man, everybody's congratulating you. You're the cheapest oil change in town. Is that what you want to be? Yeah, nobody wants that. How about we be the best oil change in town? Why don't we put out there that there's no place better in Houston to get your oil changed than Al's in the Heights? And just sit there and shut up. And when they say, what do you mean? Say, let me get it with you. I'm gonna send you all the stuff, dude. We'll get you the people. You ain't got to do it. You can do it, but you don't have to do that part. Because again, you ain't got all day. Just get somebody hot on it and let us help you reel it in. Cool?
Cool.
Quayar, got anything?
No, I'm good.
Emily, got anything else?
I think I'm good.
Awesome. Well, y'all have a good day. If you need something, give me a buzz.